Hello, and welcome to the latest Film Reviews weekly review show. Hello, my name's David, and I'll show you what I think are the best films from this week coming up, and the best films that are actually in the cinema at the moment. So first of all, we look at what's the best thing to be coming into the cinema this week. It's actually a bit of a close one actually between the two big contenders, Happy Feet 2 and The Thing. Now let's start off with Happy Feet 2. Happy Feet 2 is the follow-up to, obviously, to Happy Feet, the animated film that everyone wanted to love. And to be honest, I never was a super fan of Happy Feet because I'm not a big fan of musicals, but I do absolutely adore animation, and has to be said, this is pretty immaculate. Basically, it's about a kind of coming of age film, but for animated penguins and other associated animals. Very good. So I give it 4 out of 5. Also in the cinema this week is the remake of The Thing. Now, actually, I do remember watching The Thing in the past, and quite a long time ago though, and I'm fairly sure that it didn't look quite like this. The storyline wasn't quite like this. A collection of scientists from all over the world, the best in their fields, are flown into a secret location in Antarctica to retrieve an artefact from underneath the ice. It's a mixture between a kind of thriller and a horror, and it does it really well, very well. Acting throughout is impeccable. So I did actually remember the storyline, so if you've seen the original one, it won't completely shock you, but to my memory the storyline is slightly different. I can't actually remember certain parts of that happening in the first film. So I give this film 4.5 out of 5. Very good film, really worth seeing. So those are what I would look out for in the next week. If you want to go to the cinema and you don't want to see one of those two films, I'd recommend anything out of this next section. Resistance is a really good film, very enthralling and beautifully done. Brief synopsis: it's about the possibility of what would have happened if the Third Reich, the Nazis basically, had managed to get to Britain and occupied it. And it's just a small part of that, and they just focus on a small part of Wales to see how it would affect people. It's a really clever film. Also, if you haven't watched Immortals yet, I would definitely think about it. It is really good. 3D does add something to it as well, if you can get to see it in 3D and you're willing to pay the extra sub for it. It is quite a funky film and very trippy and fantasy, but it's set back in the past. Really good. Brief synopsis: it's a Greek tragedy, and as with all the best Greek tragedies, it's based on the fight between good and evil. Definitely worth seeing. 2 films I really can't recommend to go and see are The Rum Diary. It is so bad, it's beyond belief. I really struggled with it actually, and it should be a better film than it is. The storyline should be better. It should really be a powerful storyline. It's touching on topics which are amazingly deep, and it's still just not done. The whole way it's edited, the whole script, I think, and the acting all just combined to make this really weird film that you probably really won't enjoy to watch. And the other one is a bit contentious, I know, but it's Twilight Breaking Dawn. If you haven't seen this film already, I can't recommend it to you. It's very, very badly made, I think, and it's very slow. And if you really, really want to see a wedding about a mythical couple, but shot in a way a real wedding would, you know, like the Royals or something, where you'd actually, you know, they'd do close-ups of the dress and that kind of thing, then go for it. It's fantastic. Yeah, I imagine it would tick all your boxes. If you really struggle with the concept of a kind of overly dramatic, overly produced film about a wedding which doesn't mean anything to anybody because they're just mythical characters, even though I actually really, really love the books. I thought they were really good. I just really struggle with this. And then the second part of it is so a twink of what Twilight used to be, where it's a little inkling of how good it could be for the rest for part 2. And to be honest, it's such a slow amble to that point. I nearly couldn't be bothered to watch the whole film. And for me, to get up in mid-film is quite a big thing. I hope you enjoyed my collection for this week, and please don't forget to tune in next week. Thank you.